Hello and welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole and today we have another Activision Blizzard update, number 2345. Yeah, I know, we're getting somewhere, but I think it is important to keep you updated about the newest and most important developments. And there are two big ones today. I'm also recording this live right now when I'm streaming, so if I'm screwing something a little bit up or talk to somebody in my chat, I'm talking to my audience. So if you're like, who is he talking to? I'm also streaming this right now. By the way, if you want to ever check me out live, I'm streaming from Monday to Friday starting at 9 a.m. EDT. And we are playing all the newest games and also doing gaming news. And you can find me at trovo.live/chaosmole. So let's get right into it, shall we? The two biggest things we have today is we talk about the Acti Blizzard Walkout, which is planned for today. And then it seems like the parchment has finally reached the deepest depths of hell and have reached Bobby Kotick, because Bobby Kotick released an official statement about all of this. And, well, he had to. If you have missed it, apparently it's not just the workers and the players who are pissed, it's also the shareholders who are now really pissed about this. And they are planning on actually starting an investigation regarding Activision Blizzard and the sexual harassment. Yep. The shareholder rights law firm Robbins LLP has apparently started their investigation, and we will get to that in just a minute. But yeah, there is a lot of stuff going on right now, and there was apparently the moment where Bobby Kotick was like, wait, my shares are in a slump? What? I'm getting investigated by a shareholder rights law firm? Okay, I think I have to put out an official statement here. So, yay. But let's talk about the positive thing first. Let's talk about the walkout. The walkout will be held today, so not tomorrow like the news broke yesterday night, and it will happen today. And apparently the whole thing happens from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time. So that's in about, when I record this, 6 hours? 6 hours? No, not quite. 4 hours. Yeah, I cannot do math. Not quite. And apparently 4 hours. And apparently the whole thing will also be streamed. But employees who are unable to attend in person are asked to stop their work during these times and signal boost via social media using the hashtag #ActiveListWalkout. And that hashtag is trending the whole day already on Twitter. And it's not just the people who are working at Activision Blizzard who are doing this, but also former employees who will show up or will support them, influencers who have announced that they will not stream any of the games, they will not buy anything, they will not play it. And yeah, it should be very interesting. And the good thing is, apparently the leadership of Blizzard, at least, has already realized that this is something important, and all the people who are doing the walkout will also be continued to be paid, so they are not losing any money. And this is important because it shows that people have really enough of how they are treated and how all of this whole sexual harassment allegations have been treated by the company. And it was just shameful to watch at this point. So we will see how that goes. But this, I think, is a very important step. But they do not just do a walkout, and this is where it gets interesting. They also have some demands to the people at the higher positions at Activision Blizzard. And let's read this very quickly. Given last week's statements from Activision Blizzard Inc. and their legal counsel regarding the DFEH lawsuit, as well as the subsequent internal statement from Francis Townsend, we have already read this before. So they basically abhor this and they do not agree. And let's talk about the changes here. An end to mandatory arbitration clause in all employee contracts, current and future. Arbitration clause protect abusers and limit the ability of victims to seek restoration. The adoption of recruiting, interviewing, hiring, and promoting policies designed to improve representation among employees at all levels, agreed upon by employees in the company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion organization. Current practices have led to women, in particular women of color and transgender women, non-binary people, and other marginalized groups that are vulnerable to gender discrimination to being hired fairly for new roles when compared to men. Publication of data on relative compensation, including equity grants and profit sharing, promotion rates, and salary ranges for employees of all genders and ethnicities at the company. Current practices have led to aforementioned groups not being paid or promoted fairly. Empower a company-wide diversity, equity, and inclusion task force to hire a third party to audit ABK's reporting structure, HR department, and executive staff. It is imperative to identify how current systems have failed to prevent employee harassment and to propose new solutions to address these issues. So they are not asking for the world, to say the least here. And I think things have to change because, as I said before, when companies are talking about especially equality payment and treating women as equal to men, they're always like, yeah, it's a tough fight. We have to fight. And it would take years because the fight is really hard. We are fighting here. I was like, what are you talking about? That's your company. You decide who gets paid what. And you do it. It's not like an outside thing which has to change. It is your company. You are the people who hire new people and you decide what money you pay them. Simple as that. I hate this whole talk of, yeah, but it is a tough fight we have to fight and it will take years and all the changes we have to make, and it's really unfortunate that outside factors are holding us back. And it's like, well, there are no outside factors. You just realized it's cheaper and gives you cheap workforce. That's all. And we will see if their demands will actually be followed through. Now, as I said, this is not the only thing which is going sideways right now for Activision Blizzard. Apparently now the shareholder rights law firm Robbins LLP is investigating Activision Blizzard to determine wherever certain Activision officers and directors violated the Security Exchange Act of 1934 and breached their fiduciary duties to the company, according to a note shared on Business Wire. Pre-market stats suggest that shares are starting to rally, albeit slightly, but overall, Activision Blizzard stock have dropped by as much as 7% on Tuesday as the legal mess continued to get stickier. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. And as you can see and hear, there's a lot of stuff going on. So finally, somebody reached Mr. Bobby Kotick in hell and was like, Sir, I think your company is going down. You have to act on this. So Bobby Kotick has finally put a letter out to talk about this. Let's read the letter, shall we? Yeah, let's do that. This has been a difficult and upsetting week. I bet it has, Bobby. I bet it has, especially for you. I want to recognize and thank all those who have come forward in the past and in recent days. I so appreciate your courage. Every voice matters, and we will do a better job of listening now and in the future. Not that we could have done that in the past 25 years, but we have to start at some point. And that was me adding that. Our initial response to the issues we faced together and to our concerns were, quite frankly, tone deaf. You see, that's something. He admits that the whole response was tone deaf. I know he probably got advised at this point to say that because it looked really, really bad. But I think they showed their real face with the first responses, where they were literally like, what are you talking about? There are no problems here. Everything is fine. Everything is good. What? Harassment in our company? I think not. Like, of course, people always like to argue, like, yeah, but they're a company. They have to protect the company. They have to react that way, or they would get into trouble when it comes to like the court. And it's like, yeah, cool. I don't care. I'm not working for the company. I'm not a company. Like, I find that whole behavior very shameful. And probably at this point, somebody finally gave Mr. Kotick the message and were like, it looks really bad. I read the lawsuit. I read the evidence. And this is not good. You better start to make amends, or the court will probably whoop your ass. Yeah. Like, that's probably what happened here. So this is not really him to finally acknowledge that there are problems, but probably one of his lawyers who told him, like, yeah, dude, I looked into all of this, the whole lawsuit by the state of California, and you were screwed, man. You better start the penance right now. It is imperative that we acknowledge all perspective and experiences and respect the feelings of those who have been mistreated in any way. I'm sorry that we did not provide the right empathy and understanding. Again, I would just read this now. I would not interrupt every sentence here. I would just read this. But the last thing I want to say on this is actions speak louder than words. And time for words at Activision Blizzard are very much over. Many of you had told us that active outreach comes from caring so deeply for the company, that so many people have reached out and shared thoughts, suggestions, and highlighted opportunities for improvement as a powerful reflections of how you care for our communities of colleagues and players and for each other. Ensuring that we have a safe and welcoming work environment is my highest priority. The leadership team has heard you loud and clear. We are taking swift action to be the compassionate, caring company you came to work for, and to ensure a safe environment. There is no place anywhere at our company for discrimination, harassment, or unequal treatment of any kind. We will do everything possible to make sure that together we improve and build the kind of inclusive workplace that is essential to foster creativity and inspiration. Blah, blah, blah. Man, my English today. I have asked the law firm Wilmer Hale to conduct a review of our policies and procedures to ensure that we have and maintain best practices to promote a respectful and inclusive workplace. This work will begin immediately. The Wilmer Hale team will be led by Stephanie Avakian, I think it's Avakian, who is a member of the management team at Wilmer Hale and was most recently the director of the United States Security and Exchange Commission Division of Enforcement. We encourage anyone with an experience you believe violates our policy or in any way made you uncomfortable in the workplace to use any of our many existing channels for reporting or to reach out to Stephanie. She and her team at Wilmer Wilma Hale will be available to speak with you on a confidential basis and can be reached at, there's the email address and the phone number. Your outreach will be kept confidential. Of course, no retaliation will be tolerated. We are committed to long-lasting change. Effective immediately, we will be taking the following actions. First, employee support. We will continue to investigate each and every claim and will not hesitate to take decisive actions. To strengthen our capabilities in this area, we're adding additional senior staff and other resources to both the compliance team and the employee relations team. Listening sessions. We know many of you have inspired ideas on how to improve our cultures. We will be creating safe spaces moderated by third parties for you to speak out and share areas for improvement. Third, personnel changes. We are immediately evaluating managers and leaders across the company. Anyone found to have impeded the integrity of our process for evaluating claims and imposing appropriate consequences will be terminated. Fourth, hiring practices. Earlier this year, I sent an email requiring all hiring managers to ensure they have diverse candidate slates for all open positions. We will be adding compliance resources to ensure that our hiring managers are in fact adhering these directives. Fifth, in-game changes. We have heard the input from employee and player communities that some of our in-game content is inappropriate, and we are removing that content. Your well-being remains my priority, and I will spare no company resources besides money, ensuring that our company has the most welcoming, comfortable, and safe culture possible, and you have my unwavering commitment that we will improve our company together, and we will be most inspiring, inclusive entertainment company in the world. Yours sincerely, Bobby. So keep in mind, this is a letter to all employees, but also this is an investor letter. So if you were going to the investors page right now on Blizzard, you will find this letter. So this was also very important for the investors out there to calm them down a little bit. But I will be honest, this sounds all grand. And it's like, yeah, okay. But I want to see actions. Like everyone wants to see actions at this point. And also very interesting, the in-game changes. So some people ask, like, what do you mean by in-game changes? Well, unfortunately, when you are logging into World of Warcraft right now, you still find multiple NPCs of certain offenders who are mentioned in the lawsuit, like Afriya Zabi. Like apparently his NPC is still standing at the beginning or at the opening gates of Stormwind, and you still find him there. And it's like, yeah, you probably don't want to see his face every time you are entering Stormwind. Probably. Which is very interesting because back in the day, when there were some sexual allegations going around for, let's say, Kelthers, the voice actor of Kelthers had sexual harassment allegations against him, which turned to be out to be wrong. They were made up. But the next day, Blizzard terminated all the connections with him and terminated like all the things, like all the voice acting and whatnot in game of that actor. They didn't even take a day for that. They didn't even ask. They didn't wait for the lawsuit. And now they have the same thing again, and there was no swift action whatsoever. And it's like, yeah, that's what we call a double standard here. You might want to check on that. So, again, this is all nice. This is, of course, not really what the people have asked for, besides of the law firm, which is now taking a look at all of this. We will see what really happens. Yeah. we will see what happens. But again, I think we have all reached a point where we want to see actions instead of words, and Blizzard has to act. It's as simple as that. But I keep you posted, and if anything big happens, like I don't want to do a video every time like small changes are happening, but if anything big happens, I will definitely do another video on this. So thanks so much for watching. If you still enjoyed this video, then I would appreciate if you, on your way out, you might click on the like button. If you didn't like this video, well, the dislike button is right next to it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more gaming news, reaction videos, tips and tricks for new games coming out, and so on and so forth, you came to the right place. I would appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. With that said, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.